Talk about it all here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button.
You know, one thing about Jaden that I've tried to talk to him about is tightening his chin strap. Because he doesn't tighten it, so every time he gets hit, it looks like his helmet's all messed up. And it's like, oh, God, he just got rocked.
For the win! Caught! It's gone! LSU does it!
After fucking Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, boys. Are you kidding me?
Well, LSU fan came stuck his spike in my booty.
That motherfucker hard!
Fan brought his 2 grandkids by and literally was just 30 seconds, just wanted to say thank you for the team and the season and what you did and how much it means to everybody here is truly what makes LSU special.
Yeah. Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you.
Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Tearing up, answering the question, and I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we open up the phone lines. Come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! All right. Big start. Big day. Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time.
All right, good morning and welcome in on this beautiful St. Patrick's Day, a St. Patrick's Day edition of the Jordy Culotta Show. Brian Burgess in the chat. Top of the morning to you all. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Top of the morning, lads.
But yes, great day to have a great day. Lloyd is in here. Christian did not show up today.
He called it early.
He sent a text yesterday. He did.
So he was fucking hammered somewhere.
Yeah, something happened. Because he was awake this morning. Because I texted him trying to get these practice clips from him on, they had spring practice on Saturday. And I texted him on Saturday like, hey, make a folder on Google Drive, whatever, blah, 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 send me the link. Never got it on Saturday. Checked again yesterday, still never got it. Texted him last night. He texted me back this morning and sent me the link. So, it was
still drunk.
He's still recovering from something, and he decided not to show up this morning. But
I wonder if he.
We need a Christian
Mingle
update.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mingle update.
St. Patrick's Day.
I'm telling you, the parade was yesterday.
To stop him. Yeah.
I went out to the parade yesterday.
Did you?
I did. I caught some beads, some footballs, some cups, some T-shirts.
Over under a half a boob?
None. I didn't see any. But I see, like, for me, I started in, like, the overpass area on Perkins, but one of my buddies had, like, a house, further down one of those streets. So I was like, let me get away from all the commotion and I feel like this is kind of an old person deal in my mind. Like, I didn't want to be with all the people my age that were underneath the overpass, like, jumping around and doing
That's
like
why you didn't see a titty.
That's not. I can't do that. I was even just walking through it to get the other way, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Not a drinker. It's
Right.
a big drinking holiday.
Yes.
As an Irishman myself, this is kind of what we pick ourselves
Of
up by our
course.
bootstraps and come to work on Monday. But
Of
yeah,
course.
this is what we celebrate it for.
But yeah, no, I made it out. I made it
something
out.
that I didn't want to.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. You caught yourself. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because you caught it. Mm-hmm. And
Self-aware.
but it was still a good time. The weather was great. I had quite the hike ahead of me, and I was nervous because I am a sweater, and I was like, I'm gonna get all sweaty. But the wind was there was a nice breeze, and the wind was blowing, so it was nice.
Your brain. I'm gonna get all sweaty.
I do. I mean, this is what I'm thinking. I'm in like a thicker cotton.
Not Roback.
Like Carhartt t-shirt. Nope, no Roback.
Oh,
Roback, I'd been fine.
Yeah, Roback, you'd have been great.
I had a Carhartt t-shirt and I had some pants on, and I'm thinking about this 30-minute walk I have ahead of me, and I'm like, buddy, if the sun is shining, I'm gonna be
I'm sweating,
like wet, soaking wet when I get over to that shindig over there. But the wind was blowing. I felt good. Matthew called in the chat. Get Lloyd to let you borrow his hoodie. I've got all the hoodies. Me and Lloyd got all the hoodies.
Yeah.
Don't forget, shout out to Roback. Pet the
I
dog.
actually put this one in the car and thought
Really?
it was that one for a second. Then I was
Wow.
like, this is not nearly as comfortable.
Does not feel as good.
Yeah, Roback, promo code Tiger,
It's
10%
kind of-
off, polo, joggers, hoodies.
Yes. It's
Flex.
kind of ruined everything else for me.
Yeah. It's
Like
a
I'll
big
wear
deal.
something else and be like, yeah, it's just
Not the same.
not the same. Obviously, LSU football spring practice continued on through the weekend last week. Apologies about Friday morning's show and the absence of it. There was a few messages and tweets about where it was. I was a little busy over the weekend. Had to make a trip down to Lake Charles. That's why the show ended early on Thursday. Appreciate you sticking with us through that and through missing Friday and being back this morning. Made the trip down to Lake Charles. Won Thursday night. Took down the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets in the semifinals to set up a rematch with a district rival in the state championship game Saturday night. And it was a great trip, great time, obviously, but fell a little short on Saturday. It was a rough one. 8 seniors, it was a sad, somber moment. But obviously, congratulations to all the teams that won. Congratulations to Zachary. But it's still, I mean, for me, Central basketball had not made the top 28 tournament in, I think, over 30 years, around about 30 years. They hadn't made the state championship game since 1994. And so
well, this
it
is all bad then.
What you mean bad?
Like it's set up to be a.
It was still historic, but to me, that's what I'm saying. It was still a historic year because it had been, it had been 30 years since the school had made it there.
I think you can say we if you go there.
Yes, it had been 30 years since we made it there, and so this team was a special group of guys. 8 seniors, a good group of juniors. They all grew up together, played together forever. Lost by 7 in the championship game, and what was a really high level basketball game. Like I sat back and watched the film again yesterday, and it was a physical, skilled, talented, smart, well coached basketball game, and just fell a little short. But that is over, and we are back. LSU baseball. Had a successful weekend.
Flushed it.
Had to flush it quick. I didn't want to start getting choked up and emotional here. But LSU baseball had a successful weekend as they sweep SEC opening weekend in the box. They take down Missouri Friday, Saturday, Sunday. LSU women's basketball finds out that they are a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament, and they will play San Diego State on Saturday. Terrible time slot. I don't know if you saw, Lloyd. The timing of the LSU San Diego State game on Saturday is 9:15 tip p.m.
But God, will the freaks come out after dark?
I mean, this is
That's get your Uber schedule now.
I couldn't believe when I saw it was 9:15. Like, what do you? This is going to be either really bad in a
It's gonna
bad
be
way
really-
or really bad in a good way?
Yeah, it's gonna be really good in a good way. Like that's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
We have already had Schwartzy hit me up, be like, when we promoting the show, boys, like when we're getting back
Yeah.
out there to talk about LSU women's basketball because they got the 3 seed, and then apparently there's been a lot of conjecture about Dawn Staley's out there again in the news, where she's like, I guess I'll schedule differently.
Yeah. If you wanted to be the number 1 overall seed, you should have beat UConn and not let them beat you by 30 points, in my opinion. But, yeah, so LSU women's basketball will get it started in the NCAA tournament against San Diego State on Saturday. LSU men's basketball did not make the tournament, surprise. They do get offered an NIT bid, and they decline. I know that's got a lot of people feeling a lot of different ways. So in the chat, go ahead and put your opinion in there so we can discuss that later on in the show. I want to have all y'all's thoughts on that decision by Matt McMahon and LSU to pass on the NIT to start the offseason now. Don't forget, every single day the show is built and brought to you by R&B Builders, Rhett Bourgeois and his team, commercial, residential. They do such great work. Get in touch with them. Check them out on social media. They have great content coming out there. The phone line is brought to you by Southern Regional Medical Center, Jason Ramazan, Charlie Harvey, and their team over there. They're doing great work on Facebook as they're getting that rolling. Make sure you get in touch with them. No phone guests today, but as we continue on with the week and we add them in, maybe we'll try to call Christian, add them in as we have phone guests throughout the week. That's who brings it to you. And every single day, the new hat, 888-8888. Get Gordon, get it done. GetGordon.com. Gordon McKernan, Louisiana's big truck injury lawyer, and the NIL king all throughout the state. Not just LSU, but state universities throughout Louisiana.
I wonder if he has any ties to McNeese.
I wonder, because I tell you what, we're going to get into the LSU basketball discussion later. It's so overdue time for the PMAC to be upgraded, remodeled, the whole. LSU needs something facility-wise to get picked up, because we obviously were in Lake Charles for the top 28 to play. We went on Thursday. The next game wasn't until Saturday, so we needed to practice somewhere on Friday. And you play in a big gym in the Burton Coliseum for your game, so we wanted to practice in a big arena with a bigger court and the seats behind the goal for your depth perception and all these things. And shout out to Colby and the team over at McNeese. They got us in there to practice in the Legacy Center, and I was standing there kind of, during the pre-practice warm-ups and things, just looking around. And it should be so easy to get the PMAC right. Like, if you're standing in the Legacy Center at McNeese, you've got the bleachers, and then you've got a club level, which is really nice, and you've got the suites at the top. And to me, that is one aspect that LSU obviously needs to add. And the seats feel more like a college arena, like it's more tightly together, intimate. Yes, 100%. Like the PMAC just feels too business. Like you're far away from the court.
It's business with no suites.
Right, you're far away from the court, and you don't have the extra seating premier seating to make more money. And I think that's going to play a factor as we continue to talk about LSU basketball later on in the show. But it is time for these facilities to be upgraded, because there's no way. I've been to this past basketball season. We did it all. Over the summer we played at Tulane and Loyola in New Orleans. We made it up to ULM when we played against West Monroe. We practiced there. We were in the PMAC. We were in Southeastern's arena. We went to UL. We made it to McNeese. Like, we went all around the state, and LSU needs to pick it up. If they're the flagship university, they should have the best facilities in the state, and right now, in my opinion, they don't. Much less best facilities in the SEC, which is the best conference of basketball. It gets 14 teams into the tournament. 2 teams in the league miss out, Lloyd. And can you guess which 2 teams those were?
LSU.
Yep.
And Bubby.
South Carolina.
Oh, God, the 2 teams that spend the least amount of money in the NIL. Yeah, that was the one that was escaping me. I was reading about baseball, so I had pulmonary on the brain.
Yeah, those are the 2 teams that spent the least amount of money in NIL. They didn't make the tournament. And they were the only 2 to make the tournament, to not make the tournament. And now the report came out earlier a couple weeks ago, came out again. LSU is going to spend more money, more NIL support, backing for McMahon. We shall see how that goes. But on a positive note, LSU baseball this weekend, how big of a deal is it that you start SEC play with a sweep? To go out, take care of business. What's this 15-game win streak for the Tigers? They go out and sweep Missouri this weekend. 3 impressive wins. Regardless of what that final score says, it is beyond impressive to go out and win all 3 games. It's so difficult. Like you saw it on Saturday. You handled business somewhat easily on Friday and on Sunday. On Saturday, that was the one where you could have got caught up and dropped one. And it could have made Sunday completely different. But LSU went out there, took care of business. Lloyd, this weekend,
emotional
what were your
weekend,
takeaways?
Right? Because obviously you had Sandy Bear.
Yes.
Rest in peace, because that's a huge part of LSU baseball. And you saw Jay Johnson give the magic moment to Sandy Bertman, who passed away on Friday. So that's like an emotional toll that you kind of can't prepare for. And then you see the LSU baseball team be able to respond in the way that they did, where that's a cloud over you regardless. Like, I know that these guys are young and don't probably know Sandy Bertman and what she meant to LSU baseball, but I bet they do.
And they can feel it. Yeah.
Like Jay has done a great job of being able to relate the mess, like almost pass the baton down from where it was obviously skip a year, Paul, and then now Jay. And now that Paul Maneri is coaching somewhere else, he still has the ability to lean on Skip. And so that probably weighed heavier on him than people think.
Right.
And for him to be able to, get the squad ready, the boys played great, and you get like Kate Anderson. Like, it's time to start having the conversation of, like, legitimate ace.
Yes.
Like, he's pitching on Friday for a reason. Nobody really talks about it because he keeps doing the same thing, where he goes, this is his longest outing of the year, 6 2/3, or 6 1/3, 11 strikeouts. Like, you feel like it's ho-hum.
Yeah.
Which is what you want from an ace. And then you have, like, people are going to harp on the walk situation from, like, your bullpen, and that's okay because you're able to score 10 runs a game right now.
Yeah.
Like, the master class that's being put on by the coaching staff of being able to plug and play the right people at the right time, like Broswell comes in on Friday, where it's like, oh, should he play? Because you had Tanner Reed swinging one of the hottest bats in the lineup. Broswell comes in and gives you 3 ribbies.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that's impressive for, like, you to have that feeling. They started 3 left-handed pitchers, and you're starting to see a little bit of how, I guess, the mind of a maniac, how inside Jay Johnson thinks. Like, okay, if we're going to go lefty, then you have answers for everything right now. Because they're playing their best baseball, and it's not a bad thing to say that they're peaking, because you're peaking at SEC play. Like, I know it's Missouri, and you see Texas doing the same thing kind of at the moment, and you'll find out really your real true test, your first SEC series, because Missouri does not put that's like LSU and basketball. Like, they're not putting the resources into Missouri baseball. That's just not where they are.
Yeah.
And now you'll see Texas, who is trying to make a statement in the SEC. They get their first road series there, and you'll get another good test because the boys did a sweep, and you never expect one, but always great when you get one.
Yeah, no, it was obviously nice. And it's just Jay Johnson has so many pieces. Mm-hmm. Like, that was one of the biggest takeaways throughout the season, but this weekend in SEC play, you never know if the lineup and the roster is going to get kind of, I guess the lineup, if he's going to make it more concise, if he's going to bring it together to not use as any. But, I mean, you think about Ethan Fry doesn't really get the opportunity, and then he comes in yesterday and he goes 3 for 4. Jake Brown comes in on Friday and swings a good bat. Like, there's just so many weapons on this team to be so competitive and to dominate the way they did on the weekend. Even on Saturday, you see Kason Evans come in. He's got the bases loaded and takes care of business with a big strikeout, gets him out of there, and he is full electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone you can feel it when he's on the mound. It's different. And he is a star in the making. This middle infield LSU has I would be hard to find one in the country that's better than those two.
There was a play
defensively,
there was a play that Mila made on Saturday, like late, where he is able to kind of get behind a baseball and turn a double play that absolutely bailed you out, that people aren't going to be able to look at, like, oh, good, you turned one. Like, that's a major league play. Like, you're not supposed to get 2 outs there. And for LSU to be able to get bailed out in that moment by him, like, he's been so good at short and hand up me. I said he should have played shortstop last year.
Right.
But you can see the hands that he has that short and his and then you forget about him in the lineup.
Yes.
Like every time he comes up, you're like, oh shit, you still have him? And that's where LSU baseball is right now. Like it's between, for my money, it is between, like Tennessee is as good as advertised. Like we can shit on them all we want. Like that's been, because they're a loud fan base and everything always comes back to LSU. I get it.
They're the real deal.
They're good this year. LSU is very good this year. Like that series is going to show you a lot.
It's going
but
to
like because you have that infield between. There's also another play where Milam makes in the infield where he option pitches at daiquiris to Dickinson, where you're like, Jesus, it makes it look so easy. Yeah, that was on Sunday where it's deep behind the bag and he just like can flick it 15 yards.
Yeah, and Dickinson has to like go around and snag it.
And you have 2 shortstops.
Yeah.
3.
And it's unbelievable.
And, and also shout out like all these guys are like staying ready.
Yes.
Like whether it be Jake Brown, Ethan Fry,
bought in.
Broswell, Luis Hernandez, Kate Aaron Beatty, like all these guys are bought in. And that's a testament because you saw it last year where it was a thing.
Yes.
Where it was like, oh, I don't know what my number's going to be called. Like, what are we doing? It's like, no, we're all a part of a piece to win a championship.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for one goal. It's not playing time. It's how can I help the team win? Yeah. And you can see that in this baseball team now.
No, the buy-in that you can see from this LSU baseball is beyond impressive.
Case and Evans.
To be as bought in as they are and ready to take advantage of any opportunity they get, regardless of when it arises and if it arises. Because it might not happen on Friday, and it would be so easy to check out. Be like, oh, I didn't get to swing the bat at all. I didn't get a chance in the field at all on Friday. And then the opportunity arises on Saturday, and you could be out of it. But they are so ready and so bought into the message Jay Johnson is preaching and the mindset of let's go win a championship. It's hard to not be stupidly excited about this LSU baseball team because it's
left field when you had to have it. Like put it on a dot. Was that Kansas State?
Yep.
Yeah, like never worried about him. But another person that we haven't talked about yet that deserves his flowers is Zach Cowan.
Yes.
Like he comes from being a Friday night. Starting to see Jay say some things about like Chase Shores, even though people are like in and out on it. But like that's if not a Friday guy, he certainly shouldn't be a Sunday guy. And you're starting to see like he gets touched up a little bit where it shouldn't. It's just never good contact. He's just unlucky at the moment. But to have those 3 guys, then you can bring in Zach Cowan out the bullpen. And you still have Guidry waiting in the wings, or you have Case and Evans, who talked to Guidry, like it was one of the guys that like calmed him down a little bit. You saw Schmidt move to a bullpen role.
Yes.
And he had his first like freshman moment where it was like, this feels like a lot to him.
Right.
And that was one of the plays that I was talking about with Milam where he gets a double play. It's like, all right, settle in a little bit. But it was still sporadic. But you'll see, like, if you have Schmidt coming out the bullpen, if you have Coward coming out the bullpen, if you have Case and Evans, and at some point, I'm sure they'll talk about Gavin Guidry, but we know what he is, and you know who he is.
Yes.
And he's bought in as anybody. So,
Connor Ware. Out of the bull. Like,
they're stacked.
It's an embarrassment of riches. And if they can continue to have this buy-in and this just chemistry that they have, that you can just feel when you're watching them play, it really is special. And you're going to find out a lot about this team this coming up weekend. Texas sweep. Yep. Texas got a sweep as well, I believe. Texas sweeps their SEC opener.
This straight change is nasty. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. And he was throwing it at times, like he struck out the side, he threw it 6 times in a row, and they all chased. And it's like, what do you think's coming? I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably the straight change. Can't hit it, though.
Can't touch it. Can't touch it. But, yeah, you're going to learn a lot about LSU this weekend. Who do they face in the midweek? They take on.
They already played. Is it UL?
This is UL week, is it not?
It is.
How about that?
They lost.
Huge week for LSU baseball.
They were bitching about the umpiring, which is always a good sign.
Huge week for LSU.
Your team's right where you want them to be, if that's where you go. There was a
runner's
interference call that ended the game. And
I saw that.
Yeah, and old Cuck Reviews was upset.
That. No, it's UNO.
Oh!
UNO, not UL.
Damn it.
UL is next Tuesday.
Okay. Look ahead.
Yes.
UNO Privateers. No Blake Dean.
UNO Privateers on Tuesday. Then they head to Austin this weekend. So a road test. They're going back to Texas where they dominated in Frisco, and they take on Texas in their first SEC series as a part of the conference. Texas gets a sweep, and now LSU will head out there. Big test, but I'm excited to watch this team go out there and try and take care of business because it really is. It feels like such a special year for this program because of just the chemistry, the buy-in, all the things we've spoken about. It's impressive to see. So that's and that's kind of, it'll kind of lead well into this football conversation because that's kind of what you're hoping to see from the football program this season. Because to me, one of the biggest things that creates the buy-in for this LSU baseball team is they're all here to win a championship. Like the guys that transferred in, the freshmen that opted out of being drafted, like they came here obviously to play at LSU, but they came here to win a championship. And LSU baseball has been able to use these transfers and have them mixed in and mesh with the team and become a unit in the chemistry that they have. That can't be easy when you add that many pieces, but LSU's been able to make it happen. And football is in a very similar situation where they've added all these pieces. And you heard Brian Kelly talk about it on Saturday where he wants a 55% incumbent rate. Like he wants 55% of his roster to be guys that were on the team last year. And so they were able to keep 55% and add 16 or so transfers as well as the freshman class. This is a huge spring for LSU football because they're going through the meshing, the chemistry aspect of what baseball was able to do to be where they're at now. Football is starting that currently in spring practice. And if LSU football is able to grow that chemistry and that bond, the way they'll do that is the buy-in of why are we all here? And it's to win a championship because this is the season. This is the time. Some of the video that's been put out by LSU of the mic'd up, like I think they put out a Jack Pyburn mic'd up the other day, which was awesome. Barry and Brown before was pretty cool, and you can just see, they're building this bond with the guy. I mean, that's a Jack Pyburn. I think it was about a 2-minute clip of him mic'd up at practice. And you can see, him and Whit Weeks standing there talking to each other. He's bonding with his coaches. Like you can see kind of the mesh aspect of building this chemistry and these relationships kind of beginning now for LSU football. And that's why this is such a big period of time. You saw the video of DJ Pickett getting an interception in practice, which is just, talk about getting the fan base fired up. LSU knew exactly what they were doing putting that clip out because –
Well, and they're not afraid to promote him.
No, because he's going to be a player. You can see Harlan Berry running with the threes, which I know we're not going to play into the 1s, 2s, and 3s. Harlan Berry getting this much run, this much time early on in spring practice is huge for what it's going to look like in August and in September because he's getting the reps that he's needed. Now, I think Brian Kelly talked about bulking him up. He called it a shield of armor, like adding his shield of armor. That's obviously going to be a huge aspect of just getting him a little more mass on his body just so he can be ready to push through the season.
Because let's be real, he was playing 1A football.
Right.
Like, so the SEC is a little bit of a different beast, and then you see, like, JT Lindsey, and he's a little bit more built physically. But
right.
Harlan Berry, I have no...
At all.
At all. He could put on his coat of armor or not. I'm good with exactly how he looks right now. You can just see it. And the way that they're going to use him and Barry and Brown being where is this fastest player in the country?
Yeah.
What happened?
I guess they've tracked speed or something, but he has been
Chris Hilton
dubbed.
have anything to say about this?
He's been dubbed fastest player in the country.
So I get, was it like in-game speed? Like
Maybe.
catapulted him?
I would assume.
But he looks better than I thought.
Yeah. Player.
Like
they have added
players.
Like when you look at the I'm just from a transfer perspective, when you look at the pieces they added, they are all like Jamari Butler and Jack Pyburn and Patrick Payton, the 3 edge rusher transfers, are all physically imposing. Like you look at the videos, the clips of them on the field, like they just look different. Like Jamari Butler's probably part of that all off the bus team. Like he is built. And then to Marcus Cooley, Mansour Delane, like they've added some really good pieces. And it'll be nice to see this kind of meshing and putting them all together to make the right unit out on the field, because you can kind of see the vision when you look at them out there at spring practice. Obviously, I'm not going to pump sunshine and say that this team, from what I've seen at spring practice and the videos that I've looked at, they're going to win the national championship. No, but I know that's their goal.
And you have Brian Kelly talking about the goal, like of this, bringing this team together, and it is in an NIL era,
right?
Like you have to have a certain mindset as to why you picked LSU and why you came here, and it's to win a championship. We talked about it with baseball, like they're still building it differently because it's baseball,
right?
Like it's not the same. Like, where am I kind of island hopping to be able to get to so I can win? Like you don't see as much in the transfer portal, or it's not as publicized, I should say, like because it does happen. But for LSU football, this is as frequently as they've ever been in the portal, like how much they're trying. Like it's become a thing, and you saw the story drop over the weekend from Ross Dellinger, where LSU has a billionaire that is funding your. Like they found one. We were talking about go get money from the Saudi Arabians, like go get whatever's over there, oil money. There's some guy that didn't even go to LSU because he was too smart.
Let's go.
And he grew up here and is a fervent LSU football fan. And the one quote that came from it that I saw was like, I don't know who made the call. It said anonymous, but hey, can you help? And you're seeing that bear fruit now for at least what this roster's been put together. And you see Brian Kelly talk about the people that they have now in the building.
And these guys are they're here to win a championship. I mean, you go out there today, I don't know, you guys are at practice, right? I mean, you don't hear a bunch of talking. I mean, it is business. I mean, they are here to win a championship, and they take their craft serious. They go to work, and it's fun. And these guys are they're here to win a championship. I mean, you go out there today, I don't know, you guys are at practice, right? I mean, you don't hear a bunch of talking. I mean, it is business. I mean, they are here to win a championship, and they take their craft serious. They go to work, and it's fun.
Yeah, no, I mean they all are here for one goal, and that is to win a national championship, and that's what the fans obviously want. I mean, that is the goal of LSU football, is to be a national championship contender.
Oh,
and this is the season. What do you have for me?
I just read LSU Tigers on SI. This came across 2 days ago. I just didn't see it. Jordan Gilbert missed the entirety of spring camp. Offseason shoulder surgery. Sorry, boys. I didn't know that happened.
Yep.
I'm just reading it now as I do a hashtag LSU search. But, yeah, you can see Brian Kelly, and not only is it for the players, this is his money season, too. Like, he has a ton to – like, the expectations are firmly on his shoulders.
100%.
Where he has to bear – like, now I've said this time and time again, like, you're out of excuses. You're able to – now you have your $1 million match. You put your own money up.
Right.
Then you have a billionaire that is now fronting a roster that is, like, you paid, I think, what, $3 million, $13 million? It was one of those. But you paid more combined this year than you paid in your first 3 years when NIL was a thing. And so, like, it's literally, like, put up or –
yeah.
I'm so angry.
Yeah. No, I mean, that the banging the fist is not going to be the same. You know, this is a big season, and you can kind of hear it. You can kind of hear it when he's speaking, like the buy-in is kind of different on his. Like to me, that press conference on Saturday was such a good one. Like even just him talking about the spring game change, you can see like all the intricacies that he thought about and that he stressed. Like he was like, "Look, last year setting up for we lose 2 practices." Mm-hmm. Because on practice 14, you're setting up and practicing for what the spring game is going to look like on practice 15, for on day 15. He was like, now, if we just do an open practice with the fans there, because I'm glad, like to me, that's the biggest draw of a spring game is make sure the fans are involved. Cancel the spring. I don't care if it's a game, but give the fans the opportunity if they want to come and watch so they can be intertwined in the program and they get to do the autograph. I think it's a good decision. I'm for it. But like him talking about the intricacies of, well, now we get a 14th practice and we get to do a 15th day of development as well. Here's Brian Kelly talking about it.
An opportunity for our fans, to see our team, but it'll be in a different format. It will be for us a culmination of the work that we're going to be doing. It'll be a scrimmage, but it'll be controlled, situational. You'll get a chance to see all of your favorite players and be able to be part of what would be a culmination of the 15 practices. But there'll be live scrimmaging, but it'll be in a different format. It won't be a continuous game. It'll be broken up into situational, red zone, some kicking game. There'll be a lot more special teams involved in it. And again, as I mentioned, the opportunity for our fans to engage with our players. Will wrap up the event with an autograph session on the field in Tiger Stadium. And just much more of an engaging event for our fans with our players. So taking a different kind of spin on it and making it just a different event than it has been in the past, and giving our players, every one of them, an opportunity to be involved in kind of like what we just did here, where everybody got reps today. Regardless of whether they're a freshman or a transfer or somebody in our program, we want to make sure that happens as well. So,
yeah, no, I mean, I'm all for this concept of a spring game. Like, it's allowing for LSU to do what they need to do, but the fans still get to be involved. Because that's, like I said, that's the biggest thing that I didn't want to lose from not having a spring game, is removing the aspect where the fans get to be a part of this. And I think that's what LSU, what separates them is, we talked about it, I think, last week when we were talking about the brand, was how LSU offers this perspective and this opportunity and ability for the fans to be intertwined, the path and the powerhouse, to be intertwined in the program. And that's what I was going to be upset if they lost, if you don't have a spring game. But now LSU gets to take care of their business, and the fans still get to be involved. And so it's a win.
And would
on
you
both
not
sides.
say that, like, this is probably, like, the biggest, like, I guess, faux pas with Brian Kelly that people, or, like, the one thing that people complain about is because when he's prepared, you can tell that he's, like, when he's invested, you can tell that he's a good coach. And then when he's not, you can tell, too. Like, buy all the way in, because that's always been our biggest sticking point was, brother, you can't have the fans care more than you.
Right.
And that's what it felt like for a long time. But now he's starting to feel a little bit of like, okay, I have the NIL backing. I have the team. Like, I got the players here.
Right.
You have the coaching staff, regardless if you, like, lost Bo Davis or not. But that was a testament to your coaching staff that the NFL wanted him. And then you bring in a guy like Kyle Williams, who you see consistently on the practice. You're going to love him. Like, you see consistently on the practice field, that is in it.
Yes.
And I know he's from the high school ranks, but brother, he played at a high level and was probably the reason he was good is because he tried hard.
Yeah.
Like, he had to be
and he had to learn
to be technically proficient, because he wasn't relying, like, as talented as he may be, he wasn't relying on that. He had to find ways and advantages to be able to win on the football field and do it for 12 years. And then you get the, like, go in the deep water with me. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely I will.
I'll follow you right into the deep.
And so you get, like, a certified replacement, which feels like, I know it was a talking point. It's like, well, what is he, you're really going to hire a high school coach that retired?
Right.
Like, well, then you see all of the things and put the pieces together, like, yeah, he can fucking do this.
Yeah.
And so you see the pieces kind of coming together, whether it be, like, even on the recruiting end. Like, you can be mad about Bryce Underwood, but you also, and part of that article with, like, that Ross Dellinger wrote was, like, being able to keep Harlan Berry, being able to get DJ Pickett was...
Those were huge wins.
That was a part of that, like, being able to have that in your back pocket. Like, we can compete.
Yeah.
And it's not just, hey, come to LSU, man. I know you like it.
Right. We're cool. Because LSU is cool, but cool doesn't really cut it anymore. But
you know what is cool?
What?
To be cool and paid.
Yes, to be rich. But, yeah, I mean, like Lloyd said, you can tell when Brian Kelly's in vet. Like, when he was talking about the spring game, he broke it down piece by piece of this is why we're doing it. This is what we're going to do. These are the reasons. Like last year, we missed out on the 14th practice and the 15th. That's not what we want for this year. We want development every single day. And it was just like I was listening to that and I was like, yeah, like you got sold because I can tell that this is something that he had his hands on and he was like. He's not forgetting things. He's not. None of it sounded fake or routine or practiced.
Well, we have like we're almost too close to it in a sense, but also like you can tell whatever he's kind of like getting to the next question. Now it feels like he's very much prepared for what the questions are, and he has the information. He's not up there trying to filibuster and lie. Like get through it. This is very much he knows who's on the roster, he knows who's on the staff, he knows what they're trying to do, and it's a different version of Brian Kelly that feels all in and bought in because he did put his own money up.
Yeah, he put his money where his mouth is.
Yes.
No, I mean it. I actually listened to that press conference on my way here this morning, and one of the things where I was just like, this sounds different, and that's it does bring a little bit of excitement for me just because I know how much talent is on this team. I mean, when you talk about one of the best quarterbacks in the country returning, you've revamped this coaching staff. You've got one of the best wide receiver rooms in the country. Offensive line, there's so much talent there. They just have to put the pieces in the right spots. Defensively, this is the deepest defense Brian Kelly's had since he's been at LSU. So there are a lot of reasons to be excited if you're an LSU fan. But still, I mean, it hadn't started till it started. And, it's not a win unless you get it done on, August 30th? And I tell you what, bringing back involved in spring football, August 30th cannot get here fast enough. Like, the excitement, like the fan side of me this weekend when I was watching the mic'd ups and the clips and all the things involved in spring football, I was just like, I need it now. So spring football continues for the media availability tomorrow. So hopefully, we will have Christian out there. We will send the young man.
Well, yeah, it just depends on the timing of it all if we can get out there because I'm excited to get out there.
I would love to. Yeah, and I would have been able to on Saturday if it wasn't for being in Lake Charles. But Christian did get some video. He finally sent that to me today. So some of the stuff from Saturday I'll get out on social media today also. But yeah, I mean it's an exciting time for LSU football. Like we said, they've got the money support. The players are bought in. The coaches are bought in. It just seems to be moving in the right direction. I'm excited to see what spring football has in store. But also, I mean, just throughout the rest of the offseason. I don't expect another portal addition in the spring window. Like, you feel like this team is kind of ready. Like, this is kind of the squad you're going to run with. You don't really need to go out and add any pieces unless something happens in spring football that you find out you're just not ready for. But I think they're very much this is the squad. This is who LSU will go in to Clemson with on August 30th, and it's exciting. And right now, I mean, they still don't have some of their loudest leaders on the field. Like, obviously, Whit Weeks is there, Jordan Gilbert is there, Jacoby and Guillory is there, but they're not in the pads getting the work in with these guys. And once that happens, I think the balled-in aspect will be brought to a whole nother level. I think they tackled for the first time on Saturday, if I remember correctly. That was a practice where they tackled. They got that work in. Obviously you need that. Chili says he expects one or two players added in the spring portal. Really? I would say what position? Like what group do you think they would go add? Sabrion says don't think we need to go look at tackle. Defensive tackle or offensive tackle. I think offensive tackle you've got so many pieces.
Well, and who would be like a tackle that's hitting the portal? I would imagine that the price would be very saw it happen with Lance Hurd for LSU, where it was like, oh, I'm not going to play, so I'm leaving, and that's a 5-star, that's an unproven guy, but you saw him go to Tennessee because the money was right, and I don't have playing time at LSU. Right. That just feels like a very small percentage of what's going on the offensive line. like where you get a guy that skilled or that highly rated that is also with an offensive line with 2 5-stars in front of him.
Right.
Like that's just a victim of your own success type deal. So I don't know who you would be able, but that's not, that's Austin Thomas's job.
Right.
So I don't
Right.
know the offensive line of people that you'd be able to add. You're obviously getting old boy from Northwestern to come
Yep.
down. I think it's now. I think he's done.
Done.
I think
Okay.
he's done with school.
The quarters period is over.
It is over. So come on down, and then I feel somewhat confident in the offensive line. Like it's going to be whether you're deficient or not up front, and you're not allowed to rely on. I think it's a good thing kind of to get off the reliance of a Will Campbell and Emory Jones, where you actually have to coach it a little bit.
Yep.
And you added coaches to coach it.
Yep.
Like you've put in the amount of, I guess, buy-in you need to have, where you added offensive coordinator, formerly offensive coordinator, run game coordinator now
Right.
that was a Bortles Awards finalist. That was kicked to the curb. You're like, you want to come to LSU and be an assistant? Like, yeah.
I'll do that.
And you're getting a high-level coach to where some of these things that you're working on, whether it's being deficient in the run game, now it feels like you can't rely on Will Campbell and Emory Jones. Why doesn't it work? Now it's, all right, let's work together as 5, as opposed to let's rely on these 2. And
Right.
you have to kind of coach it around Garrett Nussmeier because it feels like he is who he is. You know what you're getting.
Yes.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
Probably the best returning quarterback in the country.
And you're able to structure this around him after a year of seeing
build
how he
around
operates.
him, yeah.
Right.
And you add Barry and Brown, Nick Anderson. Aaron Anderson comes back.
In the chat, Matthew Conkle says safety. Sabrion says offensive tackle. Messina says take another defensive lineman or offensive lineman, or any secondary depth is critical. I agree, but I think this team is deep. They have a lot of pieces. And in my mind, if I think back to the spring portal last year, the spring window is a little more expensive than the winter window.
Oh.
You
think you hired the right mercenaries now.
Right. The spring window, the price goes up because the demand is up. I'm hitting the portal. You're offering me now because you need, this is your last role. You need me. And so it's going to be a little more expensive. So I wouldn't be surprised if they add another piece, but I would say it would be one. They would go get one player. Because I think you added 16. I don't think they really need to add much more after the work that they did in the original portal window. A big hitting safety is a tone setter. You have a big hitting safety.
Gilbert.
That's Jordan Gilbert.
He will,
say what you want about coverage and all these things.
Head down.
He will put his head down and go hit somebody. Matthew Congle says, what's the deal with Trey Holly? He will have his hearing. I think it's in July.
Are people concerned about the running back room?
It shouldn't be. I mean, you can kind of be concerned about the development of Caleb Jackson, but I think you know what you have in Caden Durham, and he is special. I think it's going to be so difficult to keep Harlan Berry off the field. And then you've got Caleb Jackson, you've got JT Lindsey coming in. Who was our guy Christian brought up the other day? So this senior walk-on stood out to Christian. I love it. Yeah, no, I'm not throwing shade either.
Absolutely.
But I just loved that was Christian's take.
He's big. Didn't know who he was.
Looks kind of jacked.
Yeah. But those are the takes you get.
Yep. But, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not really worried at running back. Terrell 5 says Gilbert isn't the answer. I'm not saying Gilbert you're starting.
Let's just give him a shot.
And I'm not saying he's going to be your every down safety. But, I mean, you've got guys in that. Tamarcus Cooley. You've got a Gilbert, Deshaun Spears, Joel Rogers.
Yeah, you'll see a new name.
Yeah,
because you've been so reliant on whether it be Gilbert all of last year, or Sage Ryan, Major Burns. They're all out the building.
Yeah.
Gilbert comes back, and so he's been cast into this same group of don't like him.
Right.
And it's well, give him a chance to be healthy. He came back to play for LSU and is a part of the culture here. And I don't think he got a fair shake because you really didn't know what you were doing on the back end of your defense last year, whether it's the star position with you're moving around Major Burns to you talked about it, Greg Brooks.
Right.
That was your mainstay.
Yes.
And then you lose that to a fucking terrible circumstance. And then you have to kind of fill in pieces around it. Then you hear, oh, Sage Ryan now he's cross-training at both corner and safety. You're here we go again. And to have, I don't know what people would feel like if he came back, but I do feel like he's obviously made himself an enemy of the state by going to Ole Miss. Like, I think they would have been okay with him coming back to LSU just from a fan base perspective. But now that he's gone, it's very easy to shit on him. And you have Major Burns, who, like, much maligned, but also came in from Georgia and as a Baton Rouge kid.
Right.
And, like, he did a role. Like, you had bad coaching at that point.
Yes.
And now you have, like, it's not sustainable or, it's not the same nucleus of guys that you had last year. You finally have some continuity on the coaching side.
Yes. Yes. Matthew Congo says, I trust a healthy Gilbert. Keyword healthy. Yeah, he wasn't healthy last year. You see, he's missing spring right now because of a shoulder surgery. He'll be back for the summer, I think the summer workouts and for fall camp. But you're getting the other guys are going to get. I think Deshaun Spears and his development is going to be massive because you saw some of the flashes over the season. But you would love to see him continue to develop and become a real player at that position. TaMarcus Cooley's a guy you went out and got to play safety for your team. Mansour Delane is a guy that they've brought up the cross train. Is he going to be safety? Is he going to be corner? Right now he's a corner, and I to me he's a corner. Now, if you feel like you're deep at corner, you're going to put him at safety. You can. My vote is to play him at corner.
But then if you have that conversation, who's left out?
At safety?
No,
I mean at corner?
Like you have it would be his third year starting for LSU at corner, and then you have the all-world freshman who you'd like to see.
I think Stamps is probably the guy that gets.
And then you brought in a transfer from Florida.
Yep. No, I mean you have got you have the bodies. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And that's why if you do feel confident in Stamps and Pickett and Jackson or a mix of however, Mansour Delane can go back there and play safety. But you also have TaMarcus Cooley. You have the pieces.
Yeah, they got pieces finally because you're not like looking for who can do it. You're like, we got a multitude of options of like now it's the Jay Johnson problem.
Right.
You have to find the best fit for them because they can play.
This is your outfield.
Yes. This is your right field.
Yep. This is figured out. And I trust Blake Baker and this defensive staff to figure it out. To put the pieces in the right spot to be successful.
And that's where, Cordell, we're not going to skip your comment, brother. Good to see you. Gilbert's great against playing the run. It's his coverage where he's hurt all season. Yeah, but the fact that he was able to be a factor in the run game hurt. I'd like to see him healthy and do it. And that's where you have, like, the packages where you can sub people in and out, and you're not so afraid of, like, dictating your defense based on, like, oh, he's out, so they're doing this, where you have TaMarcus Cooley who can kind of play anywhere. You have Delane, who can kind of play anywhere.
Right.
And then you have Stamps, who's been doing it. Toviano, who's been out there.
Right.
And, like,
Pickett
played a multitude of positions.
Can play anywhere.
Yeah, he played a ton of safety in high school.
Be on the field.
Yeah, he has to play.
Like, Pickett is going to be on the football field.
Then you have Whit Weeks, and you have
Harold Perkins.
And you have...
You got Devon Keys. You've got Patrick Payton. I mean, this is a deep defense, in my opinion.
John Emery on offense.
Can't get rid of him.
What about safety?
Yeah. Don't forget, every single day we are brought to you by Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. I'm just going to get you guys ready for when we return from the break. We're going to talk about LSU men's basketball. And I know it feels crappy, so we're going to give a shout-out to Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works, 225-776-2431. That's the only way to contact them. There's no social media, no website. Call them at 225-776-2431. And if you mention the Culotta Show, you're going to get 15% off. We're going to take a quick break here, get these commercials run through, these ads, these advertising dollars. We're going to take to close out hour number 1, and then we'll start hour number 2 with a little bit of talk. What you got for me?
Mikey, 8:15.
Perfect. So we'll have 15 minutes of LSU men's basketball conversation, and then we'll get to Mikey Mondays on the Southern Regional Medical Center phone line.
Get your questions in the chat for old Mr. Michael.
Ask Mr. Michael Matuk. We will be back here with more of the Jordy Culotta Show.
Red Stick Sports.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Well, the Oscar Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
48 Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. Around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at 48agency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health, get in touch with 48 Insurance Agency, 48agency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. 48 Agency.
Get Gordon. And get it done. Yeah, everybody know Gordon in a 225. And he done link with Big Foe. He got buku ties, Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm with Gordon, I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Get Gordon, and get it done.
Welcome to Trifecta.
Trifecta Sports Therapy in Baton Rouge. Recover, repair, restore. At Trifecta, they believe in total body wellness. Trifecta gets the body back to its full potential. Whether you're a youth or pro athlete, a pre or postnatal mom, or if you lead an active lifestyle or a senior citizen, Trifecta has the class, the sports massage, the sports therapist, the stretch therapist, or the equipment like infrared sauna, cold plunges, and golf simulators to find your best. Find Trifecta online at trifectasportstherapy.com or check out the beautiful facility today, 8221 Goodwood. Trifecta Sports Therapy.
Hey, Tiger fans, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit us, Tom and Wright Granning, at Go Mart on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip.
Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on your left.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I'ma do what's best for me, you can keep all your lashes. Spend the summer stacking bread, might be gone to November. Pulling up like Trey Young just to freeze up December. I got this on the blood like traditional sinners. OGs love me, so I hang with traditional winners. I took a break for a minute, I had to go charge up. Had to focus on my business, I'm coming back smarter. Hit up DJ, tell him go like I'm dropping the Carter. Coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. They say that life's a marathon, man, shout out to Nip. They start to think you falling off and they starting to flip. Circumstances start to change and they jumping the ship. Only ones that really matter who's tied to your hip. They tried to push you to the side because they thought you would quit.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 getting started here on this St. Patrick's Day, Monday of the Jordy Culotta Show. Glad to be back. Glad to be back. I missed you guys on Friday. I saw some of the messages asking where's the Culotta Show, and it's funny when we miss when something comes up and we miss a day, because Jordy missed days. I would say occasionally, but it was a little more often as time went on. No comments were made when we didn't have the show. Now it happens and it's show's falling apart. It's going to trash. It's everything. It's dying. Like there's a reason why
we've added a show.
Like if anything, we've made what do you mean it's dying? Because we missed one day.
We did miss Friday. I did get the FOMO because I was like, "You sure you want it?" I was like, let this man focus on his."
I was gonna wake up and do it, but
I know. But I wanted you to be able to clear out full hearts can't lose, and you lost, so that's not happening again.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I won't ever miss it again. It wasn't worth it.
No, but, maybe you need to take your mind off that pain.
Yes.
That's why we're here on a Monday.
Yes, I'm sorry, Devin. We ruined his mornings when we miss a day. I apologize.
I appreciate that.
We appreciate the love, and I'm glad y'all miss it because it wouldn't. It would if y'all just didn't care, it would be different. But y'all miss it, and I'm glad. I'm glad to be back. It's nice to see all you guys' names in the chats and all your pictures and the kind words. But
yeah, keep talking through that pain.
Yes,
I hear you.
Yes, LSU men's basketball.
Oh, speaking of,
here it is. Speaking of pain, has decided they will not play in the NIT. They have rejected their bid to go play in the NIT
What
tournament.
gives them the right?
Last season, obviously, they play in the NIT, and they lose in game number 1. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, and there was an avenue where I could see this being a good thing for LSU, where they were able to kind of go into the offseason on a high note, beat a couple of non-conference teams. But just the position they're in right now, the way the season ended, kind of, it's better to just get it over with and get to the offseason. Obviously they brought up, the roster. Like, will they have enough players? You don't know, because there are going to be guys that leave. There are going to be guys that LSU probably moves on from, and you have seniors. But to me, the biggest win and the reason why I'm not upset about not playing in the NIT, one is I don't have to sit down and watch them play again. 2, you're getting a head start on the offseason. Like, you're getting the opportunity while these other teams are in the tournament. Yes, they're still going to be reaching out to players and being in the portal and things like that, but their focus is still going to be the game. For LSU, there's no games. There's no practices. It is, let's go get players. And now with this NIL support that it said LSU's going to have, they need the time. Let's go in and go get guys. And it's going to be a huge stretch for LSU. And this is the biggest offseason of Matt McMahon's coaching career at LSU, and probably coaching career total. Mm-hmm. And it's going to start now because they've rejected the NIT bid. And I really almost agree with it. I would have done the same thing, regardless if you were worried about the roster. I think this is a time for LSU to get in the portal and make it happen. Like, get a head start on how to make this thing go.
Are you not concerned with the reports, and I don't know if they're valid or not, of them not having enough players to even compete in the NIT if they were to accept the bid?
I mean, to me, there's a little bit of concern there, but this roster is going to have to be built up from the ground regardless. Like, yeah, there are going to be guys that you want to bring back, like a Givens and a Robert Miller, a Victorious Miller. You know, these guys, these pieces of Mike Williams that you want to bring back. But you need an influx of new talent to build. Like, this is a year-to-year thing. And you have a good class of freshmen coming in. Spectrum Wellcare asked, Noah, do you think we'll get a couple of top players in the spring portal? I don't know if LSU will. I would say LSU has to. Like, you have to go get players that Kentucky's going after, that Alabama's going after, that Auburn's going after. The top LSU should be in all of these conversations if they want to be a real type of player in college basketball. Spectrum also says Victoria's taking his talents elsewhere. That's where I would lean as well. You know, I have no inside sources, but I mean, he didn't close out the season. You know, I would assume he's probably going to be fielding calls. They're all going to field calls. Dan Hurley talked about it on 60 Minutes. He gave an interview. He was like, I'm going into the offseason understanding that 50% of my team is going to probably enter the transfer portal.
Dan Hurley's been crashing out, though, lately.
Yes. But, I mean, he's not wrong in the mindset of you have to coach with the aspect of, in my head, a lot of my guys are going to field calls from other teams, if not all of them. Like, that's just the way of the world. And Will Wade talked about it when we did that Will Wade podcast for the short stint. He said it was all about amen.
So it wasn't on accident.
That's awesome. Yeah, of course not. It was, you're going to lose players to the portal. Just make sure it's guys that you're not surprised by players you lose to the portal. Like, as long as you're not surprised by who enters,
right,
you're in a good spot. And so LSU has to go out and pay and get guys here because right now money is the only thing you've got to offer.
Yep.
It's not facilities yet. Hopefully they get that figured out soon.
Well, that's not going to be any time soon.
Right.
Like, how do you fix it?
It would
in
be
a quick amount of time. You can't.
It's money and playing time.
And promises.
Those are the two things that you can make
Babies
happen.
and memories.
There you go.
How many teams are in the SEC, Noah?
16.
How many teams got in the tournament?
14 of them did. LSU and South Carolina are the two that didn't make it, and I think both rejected the NIT. They both got bids to the NIT, and they both said no. So
yeah, but
there was nothing to win from going to the NIT if you're LSU. Last season, I understood why they did it. They played so well in SEC play. They had momentum. I thought they could, hopefully make a run in the NIT, get some good momentum into the offseason. And they did. There was good momentum going into the offseason. It was just crushed by the ugly SEC play this year. And now you need almost a factor reset of, okay, boom, this is what we need to do. This is the direction we have to go. It starts now. We don't need to worry about games. LSU gains nothing from the NIT. Go get players. Get the money organized. Talk to your staff, your team, administration. Get it all figured out, organized, and go get them. That's where LSU is right now, and that's why I agree with the decision not to play in the NIT, regardless of the roster numbers and if that's the true problem. I get it if it is because it's a real thing. To me, the biggest win of not playing in the NIT is you start the offseason now. Get it all organized and figured out. Go get players and get ready for next season.
There's no world, right, where you're happy about the people that aren't maybe on the roster as of now, and you can't field a team that you're like filtering them out to bring in new talent. It feels like the opposite, where like you're trying to retain them and they don't want to come back.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to speak ill of LSU basketball in this way, but
not at all.
It feels like it is what it is at this point. Like McMahon has his strengths.
Yes.
And that's like he's a good in-game coach, right?
But it always X's and O's.
Like the people are always going to like harp on the Will Wade, McMahon. Like it's not his fault. that he was the hire to replace the guy that is having, like Will Wade's success is not surprising.
No, not at all.
That's who he is, and that's what the energy and the environment that he built around LSU basketball is why people are upset that he got released, right? Like you had a real palpable feeling about this was going in the right direction, and now you have to take a step back because we've talked about this before, and McMahon has. Like, you could only make so many excuses to this point, but he did have to start for, same thing with Brian Kelly. Like, we've done the comparison before. But you do have to, in the same way that you're giving Brian Kelly, all right, this is now it's your time. Put up or shut up. He didn't really lose anybody from the LSU football team that you wanted to bring back, right?
No.
And now it feels like you would like Victorious Miller back if he decides to leave.
Robert Miller.
There's good talent on the roster.
And you want them to have this SEC experience to go into next year. And so you're going to want to spend money there as well. Andrew Messina asked, are we going to do a JC Show bracket challenge? 100%. It'll get put out soon, probably today or tomorrow. It'll get done.
When's the tournament start? There's so much college basketball on it to not be involved.
I think it starts
sucks,
Thursday.
To be honest,
I think Thursday's the start. Wait, yeah, no, it sucks to not be
involved. It's so weird, because I don't even want to watch it because it's
right, because
it's frustrating.
But LSU women's basketball. I
went to Las Vegas to watch
the Sweet 16.
Got to see Tremont Waters hit a buzzer beater.
Maryland.
Yes, in the sports book. Got kicked out, went back in. I was all in.
Make it happen.
Get Gordon, get it done.
There we go. But we're going to take a quick break here, set Mikey up at 8:15, talk some LSU baseball. So we'll be right back right after this.
First Force tomorrow.
Love it. Let's play.
Let's play too.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Family calls family. That saying resonates even more as your family grows. And we can't seem to stop growing. Meet the newest member of the Get Gordon family, Penny's cousin Rosie. Rosie already knows, the larger your family, the more people you have to lift you up during trying times. Just like at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, we've grown to over 200 team members with over 50 local attorneys. So whether you pick Penny, employ Ellie, roll with Rosie, or get Gordon, we want to be your lawyers for life.
Your lawyers for life.
Phil's Oyster Bar, a staple of South Louisiana since 1945, located in Southdown Shopping Center and online at philsoysterbar.com. If you log online, you can learn about the private party schedule, the catering menu, and even order online. Daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Learn about the history when Gus Piazza took it over in the early 70s, made it an absolute stop-in for everyone who came through Baton Rouge, and now Anthony, his son, carrying on the tradition. Phil's Oyster Bar, Southdown Shopping Center, and online, philsoysterbar.com.
It's rare to find someone you can count on when it's go time. It's even more rare to find someone you can count on, well, all the time. At Sunshine, we're proud to offer the John Deere equipment you need and the team can depend on and off the field. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I'ma take it with no hesitation. The hard times
All right, welcome back here as we go through our number 2 on this St. Patrick's Day. The what?
He's in traffic.
Traffic. So no
traffic. Looking for my chapstick. This is for Maverick.
Keep going. Why'd you stop?
Because I don't remember the rest of it.
Mikey's in traffic, so it's a little delayed this morning.
That's $1 million song right there.
We'll get back to the LSU
you
baseball
know what movie
talk.
that's from? Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Great one.
You seem like the type.
What does that mean?
That's right. That's your arena.
You think so?
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, LSU basketball sucks. Hopefully, there's some good momentum going in because I want
basketball sucks.
I want it to be like that's what me and Lou were talking about in the break. Was it just this feeling of March Madness happening again, and there's not being LSU in it? It's the worst. Like, I want to sit and watch.
I
LSU
can't even hate watch it.
Play.
I will.
Yeah.
Watch Big Knees.
Yes.
That's our only.
And they play Clemson.
Oh.
Which is.
It's 3rd and 17 day also.
How about that? Oh, it is. Happy 3rd and 17 to all who celebrate.
I'll never forget watching that with Charles Handegriff, also fucking livid about the basketball team.
Yes.
I didn't know he was that hardcore about LSU basketball. He is. He's one of the,
oh, yeah.
He wants them to be great. And I was watching that Texas game. I was working at Guarantee at the time. And it was 3rd and 17. It's like LSU runs the ball and punts it here. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
And then that happy goes he freaked like full fan.
Yeah.
It was awesome because we weren't on yet. And so he was going to do the post-game show, and it was awesome to see, okay, we're all the same.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all the same. 100%. No, 3rd and 17 day. Awesome. Today, Cordell, it's your son's 5th birthday. Happy birthday. What a great day to have a birthday. 3rd and 17 day is a great birthday.
Oh, also, shout out Shay Dixon, his birthday.
Oh, Shay.
Top of the morning.
Buddy.
Couldn't be more Irish. Born on Shay Dixon.
Yes.
Shay O. Dixon. Born on St. Patrick's Day.
On St. Patrick's Day. That's awesome. You just hung out with Shay a little bit this weekend.
We did. With Shay, chopped it up a little bit.
That's good.
Also, don't know what to do at our current ages. I still don't know how old he is. I forgot what he said, but he looks younger than he is. So
yes.
Good for him.
He does look like a young man. That's good. It's a good quality to have.
My waist, because he's married.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. If that's what you believe. But yes, happy birthday to your son, Cordell. Wishing the best. But yes, 3rd and 17 day. What a moment it was. The worst part for me when it happened is I was watching it with my buddies.
Of course.
And none of them are as LSU football invested as I am.
Well, I've also I hadn't ruined it for you yet at that point.
No, you hadn't.
Yeah.
But they just weren't as they were. It was a Saturday night. Everyone's enjoying the Saturday night party and whatever. I'm sitting there glued to the television. Do you guys not understand what's happening right now? And
they might be good.
When he dropped back and he threw that and Jefferson
that ball.
Stiff arms him on the sideline and scores, I was just they're all thinking they just witnessed a cool play. All my buddies, they're just like, oh, that was just a touchdown. That was a good throw.
Dagger.
It was a thing. It's like, guys. This is a new era.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new. Do you not understand what you just witnessed? It was such a it really was when you think about the moment and what it encapsulated.
And look where LSU football has gone from there in terms of at least offensively. You can, there was a little bit of you got what you got in 29 Soldier Soul.
Yes.
And then you had the dip. But the offense has kind of continued in that fashion since then where you feel not anemic offensively. You feel like you actually have a sustainable product on that side of the ball. And it sucks that you don't have or haven't had yet the DBU, D-line U type of deal. But you've been QBU, which is a wild thing.
Unbelievable. But like you said, when you're sitting there and you're watching 3rd and 17,
it's run
and
the ball
LSU's on the field, it is let your
defense make the decision.
Let the defense make the play. And when he snapped it in shotgun,
oh my God,
and threw the football, it was like,
whoa. And if it doesn't work, everybody is
right. The weight that play carried. It's looking back on it is awesome. Absolutely awesome. But March Madness starts this week. The first 4 games start tomorrow. We're going to get that bracket challenge put out to you soon so that we can have everybody included, see who wins, who loses. I did agree. I saw somebody, I think it was Conkle in the chat, said, what did he have? St. John's versus Duke for the Natty. I'll go ahead and just give my I'm all in on the Johnnies. Is Mikey in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to get his take.
All in on the Johnnies.
March Madness.
Yes. That's exactly why he's here, to talk basketball. But Mikey Montook of Mic'd Up, which Lloyd is also a part of, is joining us here for Mikey Mondays to talk some LSU baseball. Mikey, how are you?
The jersey in the background, you dog.
I tried. Listen, I don't know what was going on, but my computer's the slowest thing in America, and I ended up getting on my phone anyway.
Yeah, what a voice, brother. How was St.
St.
Patrick's Day?
St. Patrick's Day. Hey, 9.5 hours of sleep last night.
Whoa, what's the loop score?
It was good, actually. Good. There you go. Good. Day drinking is the way to do it.
Yeah, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So you're feeling
That's it.
I keep trying to get Mikey's whoop from him, and he won't let me do it on a game day. I just wanted to. He's like, you'll sink my score.
Yeah,
like my average would go,
crush
it would plummet.
Yeah. No. I worked hard. 5 years on this whoop.
One day.
That's it.
Ruin it all. It's unbelievable because you definitely would.
Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely
Whoop's
plummet
never seen cocaine before.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, speaking of things that are highly addicting, what are your thoughts on the weekend, brother? LSU baseball, the sweep.
Hey, anytime you get a sweep in the SEC is a big deal. You know what I mean? Obviously you play Missouri first weekend of the season. You'd imagine that you do get a sweep, that you do, you have an opportunity to win 3 games there. You do. They weren't always easy. Obviously, the middle game was kind of a little bit of a nut cutter there, but they're able to pull that off, and I think you found your closer, right? I think we all talked about him being the closer. Let's see what happens when he's in the SEC and he gets in a big moment. And, he passed that test with flying colors. So it was a good win. Obviously, I think Jay would rather his Saturday and Sunday starters go a little deeper than they did, and that's something that to watch in the weeks coming up. But 3 wins is 3 wins.
Are you at all in the camp of, and I would imagine you wouldn't because we talked about this a good bit, but your Sunday guy, like is that spot up for debate, or even Saturday now? Like we've had this conversation last week. We're like, do you switch them? Do you go Ianson on Sunday and maybe move Shores up to Saturday? But now it feels like when you saw what Zach Cowan did, like, is that a real debate to have? Because I don't think it is. I think they're still finding footing, and pitching in the SEC is not the easiest thing in the world. But there's it's a conversation.
I think what Zach Cowan's doing in the role that he's in, I think that they're okay doing what they're doing right now, because I think he's proven that, hey, if I come in the 4th inning, I'm going to be able to get you through the rest of the game. And I think him kind of doing the stuff that he's been doing, I think gives Jay a little bit more confidence in keeping the rotation the same. The question was, hey, if Chase Shores threw really well this weekend and Ianson kind of struggled, then would they flip them? Well, they both kind of almost had similar lines. And, I think if that's the case, you're going to continue to see Cowan do what he's been doing.
Talk about this middle infield that LSU has, Daniel Dickinson and Stephen Milam, and just the way they've performed both offensively and defensively, and just how great they've been for LSU so far.
Yeah, Milam's been hot, man. Milam, he started the season off a little slow, and then he's been, once he kind of caught his footing, he's kind of been as good as you expect him to be. Nobody really didn't know what to expect maybe from the shortstop position. Him moving over there, and he's been lights out. He has been, as good as advertised, better than advertised at short. And Dickinson, I think, has been a lot better defensively than people even thought he was going to be coming in. And they talk about baseball. You want to solidify the middle of your infield: catcher, pitcher, middle infield, center field. And it feels like LSU has that.
I mean, yeah, the plays that he's making defensively, it feels like, I said this earlier, like you have 3 shortstops. But this is going to be my next question, because you saw Broswell get run again at third base, and that was a big conversation because obviously they're throwing 3 lefties, and Tanner Reeves is swinging as hot a bat as anybody in the lineup, and you see Roswell come in and he immediately delivers with 3 RBIs in his first game and continues to play throughout the weekend. How do you think that matches up? Because it's another thing that Jay has to he's spinning a bunch of plates. He's red-panding at this whole situation here and just keeps having to tussle in his head.
It feels like he's staying true to what he was going to do. It feels like he's saying, hey, we're going to platoon. One's going to get starts against left-handed pitchers. Against left-handed pitchers, and one's going to get starts against right-handed pitchers. And he's done that, and he stayed true to that, and he's platooned that. And it seems like that's what it's going to be moving forward. Obviously, it was good to see Braswell kind of get going a little bit offensively. I think the defensive side is the other thing. Is Braswell is better defensively at third base right now than Tanner Reeves is, and so it's an offense-defense type thing. But at the end of the day, Braswell hit .315 for you last year in the SEC. So he's got confidence in Braswell at the plate. Obviously, got confidence in him defensively. And kudos to Jay for staying with him and allowing him to kind of get out of his funk.
Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches for LSU when it comes to the outfield. What have your thoughts been on the way that group's kind of been handled, each position, and especially as SEC play gets started?
Yeah, look, there's only 3 spots out there, 4 if you're going to put someone in the DH position, and it feels like somebody was going to be the odd man out at some point in the season. It feels like Larson's that guy right now. He gave everybody opportunities early on to kind of get going, and Larson got off to a slow start. We've seen that he's able to do it. I still think he's going to be able to do it at some point. But, Jake Brown's taken his opportunity. He's run with it. Josh Pearson's done the same thing. Obviously, Curiel's not leaving the lineup, and Stanfield has played great. So with those 4 guys, and then Ethan Fry mixing in that DH spot, you're kind of running out of positions, and so you felt like somebody was going to be the odd man out. Larson's that guy right now, but you can't really look at the outfield rotation and say, oh, well, somebody else needs to be out the lineup because everybody's playing really well.
Brown is on fire.
Jake Brown had an unbelievable weekend this weekend. Hit his first homer, had a triple, couple doubles. He showed the maturation of him as an offensive player going oppo consistently this past weekend. Yeah, hitting a home run off lefty too.
Mm-hmm. And that thing was no doubter. Like he's zoned in right now, and I do feel because we've both seen Larson play, and you saw it last year where you if you consistently put him in the lineup, you feel like you know what you're going to get, and he just has kind of somebody, like you said, it had to happen to somebody, another person thrust into a new role. What did you think of Will Schmidt in his debut as almost like a, you heard the Jay Johnson comments about he's not a midweek guy anymore.
Yeah, you're going to see him obviously on the weekend a lot more, which talent-wise and what he's done so far, ability, you should.
Nerves?
I think as you saw, he didn't pitch probably as good as he wanted to pitch this weekend, but that doesn't discourage me moving forward. I think the more opportunity he gets in those types of situations with in the SEC play, the better he's going to be. So, I'd expect us to see a lot more of him through the course of SEC play and on the weekends.
What do you think of the walks this weekend from the mostly from the bullpen?
Yeah, I don't love it. That's
not great, Bob.
Not great.
They were missing up a ton.
Was that?
They were missing up a ton. I feel like everything was kind of high.
And so look, I think some of that comes with adrenaline. Mm-hmm. Some of that comes with trying to make a really good impression the first weekend of the SEC. But yeah, that's something that Jay, I'm sure, has harped on a lot with his guys because. If they don't walk guys, the games aren't even close. Mm-hmm. They don't give them an opportunity to get back in games. And, we've talked about this a lot on our show is whenever you walk people, hit people, make errors, and you give free passes, and you give teams that maybe that aren't as good as you an opportunity to get, put pressure on you, that keeps those teams in games, and that allows those teams maybe to kind of pull off an upset. And so I think that you're going to see them honing on. Look, it's pitching. You're not going to be perfect every weekend, every game. You're going to walk some guys. It's about limiting the amount of walks, and whenever you do walk the guys, being able to get out of those situations. So if you had to pick something this weekend that you're like, I don't really love, it'd be that.
Oh, speaking of picking something this weekend, pick to click, brother. How about
I
that?
got one too that might happen on Sunday.
Hey, it still counts. Mic'd up 6 to 8 on Mondays and Wednesdays, and 1 to 3 on Fridays, leading you into the baseball game. And another one that we set the line for, Ole Anderson. Almost nailed that one too.
Almost nailed that one.
6 1/3 with 11
Almost
Ks.
got that one.
You were texting.
Hold on, I said 6 1/3, 11 strikeouts, 4 hits, 2 walks, and then that sack fly whenever they came out and get cashed in kind of screwed up my line.
Yeah,
I was pretty damn close.
That was close. I love it.
Yeah.
How was your time at the game on the new seats?
Seats are great. The seats are great. The on-field bullpen
Dugout.
seats. I mean, great seats, great angle. Obviously, eye level of the field. Really enjoyed the hey, what kind of drink do you want? And they bring it to you type thing. Love that.
I know you saw those tenders.
Same thing with the food. It was great. But yeah, it was a really cool addition to Alex Box. I think it's something that we've obviously never had before. People are going to enjoy that, especially when the season starts warming up a little bit more, and you're right in the middle of SEC play. So that experience was great. Game was awesome. Obviously, LSU kind of took care of business on Friday pretty early on, and just hung on at the end. So it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I was around that number. I wasn't, one day I'll be able to get in there.
Hey, they weren't my seats. They weren't my seats.
Got absolutely booted from trying to get into the Champions Club. They're like, no, we don't do that anymore. I was like, okay, cool. See y'all later.
You tried, though.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh,
the worst thing you can do is say no.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yep.
Noah, you got anything?
No, I'm good. I mean, I'm excited to watch this team get in, go to Austin and take on Texas this weekend. Are there anything specific that you want to see, in the next, real test for LSU in Austin against Texas?
Well, this weekend is going to be interesting because they do go to Texas, and Texas is a good team, and Texas pitching staff has been really good. And you're on the road, right? It's your first big, true road series of the year. And for me, I want to see, when you're on the road, the one thing that you need to do is you need to pitch and play defense, right? And so defense has been fine, but if those walks start to creep back up again this weekend at Texas, you may see some issues there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the pitching staff does, how they respond, how they rebound on a weekend that maybe wasn't as sharp. Look, they weren't awful. I don't want to call them awful. They just weren't sharp, and it wasn't
weren't sharp in a sweep
that you expect to see. So I want to see what they do and how they respond and not giving free passes and kind of getting back to dominating the strike zone. So it's going to be a fun weekend. Obviously, it's going to be a top 15 matchup, and it's going to be a good challenge for LSU, and it's going to be their first big one of the year.
When are you going to see Gavin Guidry? God damn it!
That's a Jay Johnson question, Coach. I don't know that.
You ask him. When are you going to see Jay?
We're not going to be able to talk to him today because LSU kind of stepped on our toes with the coaching show.
Well, yeah, we would imagine we'll have him maybe Wednesday, but yes, absolutely,
yeah,
we'll have somebody from 6 to 8 tonight, mic'd up. Mikey Motuk, Jared Mitchell, I assume. Jared, I think he's getting his SEC note, so he might be back.
There you go.
That's a lot of homework to do, but yes, come join us later this evening for a little LSU baseball recap and a preview of who do they got? NOLA.
Yep, UNO.
UNO. Don't have Blake Dean as the head coach over there anymore.
Maybe we'll get him on.
Blake Dean retired. He's in the private sector now.
I don't know what that means.
That just means he's a working man. He's not coaching.
Oh, same with you.
Yeah, same with me.
The private sector. Well, all right, Mikey, we'll have a great show tonight. We appreciate you once again on this Monday.
I appreciate y'all, boys. Y'all have a good morning.
Break that jersey in case of emergency. That's what you need, a little hammer.
I got my high school jersey, too.
Oh, you got retired.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Good play.
All right, boys.
Later.
All right.
Later.
Yeah, great stuff there, obviously.
He's the best.
LSU.
He cracks me up.
Yeah, no, he's funny. LSU baseball, obviously, huge weekend coming up against Texas after it. It's funny. I was looking down, putting the headphones up, and I looked up. That's what I saw. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, Andrew Messina, 2 of 3 in Austin would be great. Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
That would be huge because I do understand the questions, I guess. I understand it, but I don't put any credence to them about Ianson or Shores. I feel like they're both close, very close to being able to be dominant for you. It's just because Kate Anderson's looks so good that it feels like the other two are question marks whenever, I mean, you could go back 1 year. Like, every game felt like a question mark.
Yes.
Like, you saw the maturation of Gage Jump. Obviously, Thatcher Hurd was the thing, and I love him for what he did. Yeah, it was just the most interesting roller coaster you could ever get on. Like, does this work? I don't know. And we'll see. Sometimes it's a great ride. Sometimes I want to get off this.
Right.
It's like that fat kid that you see in the Shout Out Cagenomics. You see in the commercial that gets stuck, and the mom does not care at all.
Yep, nope.
I'm dying. I'm falling. Mom! And she's just laughing. But that was the Thatcher Hurd experience. Like, this is fun. No, it's not. It's scary. But you see LSU kind of have more options, especially coming out the pen. So it's hard to expect 2 out of 3 when you go on the road in a series where Texas is also hot. Like, it's 2 teams that are playing really good baseball at the moment. But still, I would imagine that a lot of people are going to expect, at least if you take 1, I'd feel good about it.
Yes.
Because you're an SEC 3-0.
Yep, 3-0. Yeah, no, I mean, if you take 1, you'd feel good about it. But, I mean, you take 2, that is you're
keep it rolling. But they are playing some really good
flying
baseball.
high. Yes. This is going to be a big-time matchup this weekend. You know, and obviously it'll be good to see them tomorrow night. Like, one of the things when we talk about this baseball team, one of the things we speak the most highly of is the buy-in, how locked in they are. Tomorrow's a big one. Not a big game, but it's a big opportunity to make sure they're locked in and ready. And you're not, because, I mean, it could be very easy to look ahead to a road trip to Austin and a top 15 matchup against your biggest competition of the year. You got to make sure you take care of business against UNO because baseball is still baseball.
Well, that's why I brought up Guidry, kind of. I'm interested to see because of how taxed your bullpen got. You saw Rizzi, Cooper, Williams. You saw, obviously,
Ware,
Evans, Cowan, and then and also Schmidt. So, like, it'll be interesting to see who they decide. And you saw Primo twice. Your boy.
Yep, come on.
What is he?
C-Town, baby. It's something about Central, I'm telling you.
He loves him.
Putting Central on the map. But, no, I mean,
Primo and he didn't, I mean, I wouldn't say, he didn't pitch bad.
No.
It's always, that's also an experience. Whenever, like, I love this. I've never met him, but if he's a Central guy and Jay loves him, by proxy,
you would love him.
Yeah.
You would love him.
And so I'll get nervous whenever he goes out there because I want him to perform well. But you saw all of those arms go, so it makes me think that possibly Guidry.
I mean, that would be such a good play of just, well, you'll probably see Guidry the weekend of the Missouri game, and then you don't.
Didn't see him.
And then, here he comes.
Starter.
Let's play.
Go 6 1/3. 12 strikeouts. Like, go. Oh, is that a problem?
Looks like he's healthy.
Yeah. Where's he been?
Yep. But, no, I mean, just it's another opportunity for LSU to prove that
I wouldn't even say the staff struggled. I mean, maybe I was looking at it differently, but, like, the one game on Saturday was close. But it's because, you did have some walks. Like, what
were the stats?
Ware, no hits, 2 strikeouts. Ianson, 3 2/3.
Let me see.
With Schmidt, and like that was the hairiest part of the baseball weekend was.
Right on Friday, you have Anderson 6 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. Connor Bench comes in the game.
Oh yeah, that
2 hits, good. 2 earned runs. 1 walk, 1 strikeout.
And you had to go to Evans early. I think what did he go 7, 8, 9?
No, this was Friday.
Friday.
And then DJ comes in 2/3 of an inning with 1 strikeout. Zach Cowan goes 1 1/3, 2 strikeouts. And then on Saturday, like you're saying, this is the game that it was 7-6 was the final.
Mm-hmm.
This was a tight one. You've got Ianson goes 3 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Connor Ware comes in 1 1/3, 2 strikeouts. Schmidt comes in 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 1
that
strikeout.
Was electric.
Yeah,
the experience just all like you could tell that's a guy that came to LSU for a reason, like loves it, and you could tell that he was a little bit nervous. Like I think even he would admit he was kind of like laughing to himself.
Yeah,
when he's like, I can't believe this is happening, kind of because he was put a lot of pressure on that moment.
Get it out the way now.
Yeah, that's what it pissed down your leg now.
Yep,
and you can have piss pants the rest of your time.
And then after Schmidt, DJ comes in again, 2/3 of an inning, 1 walk, and then Case Nevin closes it out, 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts.
How many innings?
He went, I think it said 2. Let me double check. It was
2 1/3.
2 1/3.
Yeah,
yep.
it felt like
44 pitches.
Yeah, it felt like it was taxing.
It was longer than he's definitely used to.
Yeah, gets his first save of the year. 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, but he also had a couple that were left on the corner that were like, buddy, like I'm walking off the mat. Like, oh.
Right. Like, just help me out a little bit.
But
Chase Shores, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Connor Ware pitches again, 2/3 of an inning with 1 strikeout.
that's what's awesome about the team.
Right.
Like, you're able to parcel this up to where it's like you're intermittent fasting with pitchers.
And
like
then
you can have that, like, oh, now it's time to eat again.
Yes.
And you're fresh.
Yes.
Like
And then
Schmidt went on Wednesday or Tuesday, and he's able to go
again on Saturday.
Saturday.
And then Rizzy goes 2 innings.
I thought he looked great.
He did. That was his best outing.
Yeah.
1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And then none other than DJ Primo goes again for a third of an inning. 1 hit, 1 walk. And then Zach Cowan closes out 2 1/3, 2 hits,
awesome.
1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, he was good.
So, I mean,
Primo is fucking carving himself out.
is that, I mean, come on, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, I mean, you don't have a lefty. That's your lefty.
Uh-huh. You have
need-
Cooper Williams,
Yep.
lefty,
Who's a freshman.
right? And then you have
Dalton
Primo.
Dalton Beck is a lefty, but he's a gadget guy. He's a 2-way player.
Gadget
And-
guy.
Gadget? You don't like that term?
No, I do. I've never heard it for baseball.
Oh, yeah, I like it for every sport.
Yeah.
You got plenty of gadget guys.
Primo, though, is like,
but
I
Primo's
think he
the-
keeps
he's the
waking up.
lefty.
He's like, oh, me again? Okay.
That's my guy, Dwayne.
He's going to beat Riley Cooper.
Yep. Come on.
Wake up and see him in Omaha. He's like, I didn't want any of this.
I'm telling you, Central's on top. Come on.
Second
Central
place.
is on top. We got a state championship in football, runner-up in basketball, and we got DJ Primo on the mound every day of the weekend.
He's going to pitch tomorrow.
Come on, the Dirty C, baby. It's special. No, it is awesome. It's so, like, it's funny because our group chat, like, we were all friends with him in high school. And so, like, it'd be like, oh, DJ's on the mound again, guys. Let's go.
He's working. Text him.
Right. It's awesome.
That would be. I don't think we've ever had, like, anybody. Well, I mean, we've had, like, players, but nobody from, like, my era.
Right.
That was like, oh my God, you're in the LSU baseball game at a big time moment.
Yeah.
Like, I would be so nervous. How are you?
Well, because it's
like, for you, I wouldn't be nervous. I was doing it because I'd fuck it up.
Right. But it's like, it's funny for me because obviously Mikhail Hilliard was a Central guy. And so, like, my freshman year was his senior year. So, like, I just got to and it was, I mean, buddy, state championship. Like, it was unbelievable watching him play. Like, throw to high schoolers, that curveball was the same. And they were standing there like this.
Whiffing.
Like, just frozen. So, like, it was fun watching a Central guy at LSU. But now, like, DJ being one of my friends, it's like.
Different.
It's very different. But,
well, get him on the show.
I will. I'll shoot him a text. But, I mean, he's going like, it's funny. I didn't even realize he pitched all 3 days.
Yeah,
Friday,
he kept
Saturday,
going
Sunday.
out. That's what I'm saying. At Glimmer, I pray Primo becomes the new Coop.
It would be huge.
He's carving out that role for himself and keeps going in.
And I think that's what Jay's kind of betting on.
Yeah, like
It's
keep throwing him out there to
he
see.
needs it.
He needs a lefty.
He needs a lefty.
And you had so many left-handed arms last year.
It's unbelievable.
And then this year you have, like, looking around like, Primo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because last year you had, I mean, it was a
6.
So many lefties. And now you're just kind of trying to make
and
it
now
happen.
you have so many lefty bats.
Yes. Well, now you have so many bats in general.
Yeah, well, Missouri was definitely trying to do something with 3 lefty starters to see how, like, LSU would, I guess, play the chess game. Like, okay, if we do 3 lefties, you'll take Tanner Reeves out the lineup. Let's see. Or you'll, like, maybe you won't see Pearson. Maybe,
yeah.
Like, how are y'all going to line up with this? And you saw LSU has options for a multitude of things. And then when you bring in a righty, you see other players come in. Like, it's a hockey shift.
Yeah, it's like, you're going to take your lefty out? Here comes Jake Brown, buddy.
Bomb.
See ya.
And that was lefty-lefty.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. You have to make some decisions for some of these guys that are swinging it so well. Like, I don't think people would have been upset to see Tanner Reeves, but it's an opportunity to get Broswell and keep him engaged.
Right.
And you get the defensive boost as well.
And he played well. Like, it wasn't it's not anything that I saw this weekend and I was like, yeah, go back to Reeves.
No,
I wasn't begging for Reeves to come back watching Braswell play.
Great bunt.
Yes, great bunt. And he made it first.
So, he did. He can move. He can move. Watch out, stolen base record.
But, yeah.
Speaking of being able to move, people don't know this, but Jake Brown's second fastest guy on the team.
Yeah, I mean, he's
maybe first. Like, I know it's but head strength and conditioning coach was like, at Stanfield far and away, he's like, Jake Brown's right behind him. And you saw that on that dribble. He is moving. Athlete.
Fast. Brown, Curiel, and Stanfield are just burners. Absolute burners.
Curiel takes some chances on the bases, too.
He does.
Awesome to see. You don't get, like, he's a smart baseball player.
He does. He takes some chances.
Speaking of smart.
What you got?
Jamar Chase.
Yes.
T.
Derek
Higgins.
Stingley.
Derek Stingley.
Derek Stingley just got paid. I don't know if you saw
3 years, 90?
Highest paid DB in the, or cornerback in the league.
What is it?
It was, I'm trying to see, somebody put it up. Texans all-pro cornerback Derek Stingley has agreed to a 3-year, $90 million extension, including $89 million guaranteed.
Oh, that's the kicker.
At $30 million base value per year, Stingley is now the highest-paid defensive
3
back
years?
in NFL history.
And he's going to be able to go back to the table. How old is he? 22?
I mean, not very old, 23 maybe.
He gets to go to the table again at 26.
Yep. And he's going to get it.
He had the
again.
Texans by the absolute nutsack.
Oh, my gosh, did he ever.
Good for him.
Yeah. No,
And
I mean,
he's that good.
Buddy, this 2019 LSU team
Paid.
is loaded. Flush with cash.
I would love to see, like, the highest grossing roster from LSU.
Right.
Like, that are all, like, I'm sure 2007 did great. 2011,
I mean,
obviously.
just Burrow, Chase, Jefferson, Stingley. That's a whole lot of cash, brother. A whole lot of cash. But, yeah, I mean, the Bengals now have
Was that team good or no?
44% of their cap invested in
LSU?
Burrow,
And T.
Chase, and Higgins. So, I mean, you'll see that's not really the method for success in the NFL.
No.
It's definitely not what the Bengals do.
No.
It's unbelievable that they've done it. You see how much influence Mr. Burrow has.
Yes.
Because the Bengals don't do, like, they don't pay. They're letting Hendrickson walk.
They have to walk across the street to go to
Across the
practice.
road. They do not spend money. But Burrow said, no, you're paying these guys.
Or I might not show up.
I don't know what the or was, but whatever the or was, it hit a nerve. And the Bengals are coughing up some cash.
Quiche.
Because
161 for 4 years for Jabbar. Jesus.
And T was
115 for 4. Good. Yeah, I mean, this is a Burrow deal. Like, keep the band together or else.
And what was Burrow's contract?
Joe Burrow from Glenn West. Joe Burrow, $275 million NFL record at the time. Jamar Chase, $161.5 million NFL record at the time, which is I think now. And Justin Jefferson, $140 million NFL record at the time. Go see.
So Jamar won up Justin.
Well, that's where the Bengals fucked themselves. Like, you could have done the same deal.
Yes.
At the time, you're like, no, we're going to wait.
But you waited it out, and he won the Triple Crown.
Not going to pay me now?
Imagine betting against Jamar and saying, hey, we're not going to pay him now. Maybe he doesn't perform well this year.
Bet.
And
all right, brother.
Yeah, Triple Crown, 160.
And then Derek Stingley, $90 million NFL record at the time, which is now. So yeah.
So look, I'm going to add that up.
Pickett.
Throw the numbers at me.
Over $1 billion in contracts for the 2019 team.
I mean,
this is courtesy of Death Valley Voice.
Filthy.
I want to see what the actual number is. Over $1 billion in contracts. Man. Hell yeah. Come to LSU.
$1 billion.
The brand.
Yeah. I mean, it's the brand. It's the brand. I mean, who needs $12 million at Michigan when you can go to LSU for 3 years and make $275 million in the league?
Did you see he was on the cover of that leaked?
Yeah.
That could have been two LSU. Whatever.
That would have been unbelievable. You saw James Franklin was on the cover. Pull the cover up.
James Franklin looks like he's lost.
There is so much to dissect about this cover. I was on the bus when I saw it, and I was like, what am I looking at? First of all, it's a lazy cover.
Mm-hmm.
Such a lazy cover. Like,
I almost didn't think it was real.
I thought it was fake because I was like, there's no way this is what they're landing on. Like, it looks awful. It's such a, like, I was like, this is what we're doing for the game?
If they're starting to mail it in already, I'll be upset.
I mean, so we've got Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith up front, and rightfully so, because they are stars. You got Kirby Smart and Reggie Bush next to them. I don't know who this number 10 guy for Penn State is, but behind him you've got James Franklin posted up with a sick jacket on. The jacket's great, but he's got quite the pose going on the and
he
why?
looks confused.
Why is he there anyways?
Right.
DJ Lagway's
Ryan
there.
Day behind him.
Yep, Ryan Day posted up. DJ Lagway with Tim Tebow right behind. You got Bryce Underwood over here on the left. Then we've got Garrett Nussmeier in the back behind Lane Kiffin, who's staying next to Ryan Day.
The
I think
Oregon
that's
Duck, that's the Arizona State
State quarterback. Leave it.
Yeah.
You got the Oregon Duck back there. Just, I mean,
Indiana flag.
so much
Smoky.
going on.
It is, with almost nothing going on
With-
at the same time.
Like, you got the Georgia Bulldog behind Kirby. You got first down markers.
This is bizarre.
It's just
if this was the first cover, I'd be nervous because the game
Yes.
is fine.
Yes.
But Reggie makes me think that there's going to be a different cover.
Well, and that's why, and it also with the mascots involved, things like the mascot game will be back. Things like
Road
that.
to Glory.
It'll be I mean, it's still a good game. We actually, while we were in Lake Charles this weekend, I brought the system and let the guys play a little college football against one another, and it got heated. It was awesome.
Oh, you took a page out of Will Wade's book.
Yes, let them play. MLB The Show also, I think, is about to release, and that's got LSU in the game, which will be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
John Quav says, I think that's just one edition, not the main
I
cover.
think this is like the deluxe.
I hope it's not the main cover because it is awful. Carl Dunn, 9:15 start for LSU women's basketball. It's unbelievable.
It's gonna be awesome.
Hunter Hall is Ryan Williams old enough to be on the cover? He just turned 18. I'm pretty sure. I wonder if they wouldn't have been able to put him on the cover.
I don't know.
As a 17-year-old.
How old is Bryce Underwood?
18.
Did he not graduate early?
I don't think he reclassified. I think he was always 25. I thought.
Yeah, maybe so.
But Ryan Williams reclassified, and he was. If you didn't hear last year, he was 17. Devin Johnson, we need a college baseball game and basketball.
Game was elite.
That would be, and that's what I'm
LSU
excited
stunk.
about. MLB The Show. It's got LSU in it.
Laval era.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even be good in it if you would have had it in the late '90s or
Think about 2023.
Yeah. I was gonna say there was
like
the early 2020s. All those teams were pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you have the 2013 team that everybody forgets about. That was
2017 team.
2017 team.
Saw Dykeman was at the game
saw that
this weekend.
too.
Also, I wish he'd had the bat.
But it can't. I forget what year it was, but it was Smoke Laval.
It was like 2004.
Yeah, like MVP baseball is a big deal.
Yeah.
With Manny Ramirez on the cover, elite soundtrack, 8 songs, and they're all awesome.
Yep.
LSU baseball was.
I brought the system today.
Oh.
So we can get it set up because MLB The Show is about to come out with LSU in it. I don't know in what capacity.
So, what position? I mean, we're obviously going to make the entire lineup.
Yes.
So we can go. We know the infield.
Yep.
We know the outfield. If you could add a player to it, where would you put him? Like whose job are you going to take? If you could make the whole thing like you have Braswell, Reeves,
right,
Milam at shortstop, you're not taking Milam off the team to
Nope.
make yourself a shortstop.
No, not taking Dickinson out.
Not
to play
taking
second.
Dickinson out. Not taking.
Not going to play first.
Base. Yeah. He hit so many. He was pissing on the baseball.
Yes.
He was hitting so many hard singles. It was crazy. So you're not taking him out.
No.
Maybe catcher. I don't even know if you can make a catcher.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would
And Luis
maybe.
Hernandez had a great
I would
weekend.
maybe be a starting pitcher, add a starting pitcher, create a player. Third base.
They're not cracking the weekend.
I don't know. You
Play
never
on
know.
Tuesday.
I could. I might play for one of those weekend spots. Not Friday. Third base.
Oh.
Right field.
Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd be third base is your only real.
Mhm.
But they
got two.
Yeah, they got 2 of them. You gotta.
Let's play 2.
It's a
you only
loaded.
play
It's
like
a
4
loaded
games
roster.
in the story with LSU. I was worried about that.
Nah, I
because
figured that's what it was gonna be.
I'll just play whatever it came out for the college. Like Madden was, or LSU
Right.
was at Madden,
And
they
you
did
played
the college
one
football
game.
I played it so many times.
Yeah, I just kept playing the national
I
championship.
kept playing Clemson and Oregon.
Yep, and beating them every single time.
Just do it again.
But then they finally came out with college football, and it was awesome. So
And then everybody hated it. Like after a month.
yeah, it did fall off pretty quick. People gave up on it quite soon. Dodgers Cubs from Japan at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Hiroshima to Nagasaki.
Oh my gosh!
Let's play 2.
I mean, I was just made a joke, but I can't keep my mouth.
Yeah, big boy game.
Yeah, hit bombs.
Yeah.
But no, that will be awesome. I mean,
5
obviously,
a.m. I mean, we'll be awake.
Yeah, we'll be up in that. We might do a watch party.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Cubs guy.
Really?
Uh-huh. WGN, Alexandria.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right after.
That's true. That's how my dad is. My dad was from grew up in Shreveport. So
yeah, huge Braves contingency here as well with TBS.
Yep.
Or TBS.
See, I'm a Red Sox fan-ish just because my buddies are Yankees fans, and I like to be able to play the
devil's advocate.
Yeah, get on the other side.
I love the Red. There's an elite documentary.
Yes.
Like that
Yes.
Red Sox team
All-timer.
I did love because we're all cursed. It was Cubs, Red Sox, both cursed.
Yep.
Both Theo Epstein. Not that Epstein.
Okay. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more of the Jordy Culotta Show. Glad to be back. Appreciate you guys sticking around with us, making it through Thursday's half show and Friday no show while I tried to win a state championship. It didn't happen, but still proud of my guys.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the team. They
John Quaid, you dog. He's got the
What?
emulator.
Oh, nice.
A man after my own heart.
Nice. But we'll be back tomorrow morning. We're going to hopefully have some content coming with the video game stuff soon. Christian shot a text last week. MLB The Show's about to come out. We need to test this Xbox
Yeah, he's got to
out.
buy it.
Yeah, we're going to make him buy it, obviously. Hunter Hall, I don't know if you got to witness it on Thursday and we shouted you out. Thank you for this. I want you to truly witness once again the difference you made, because this is just, this is unbelievable.
What was it? Like
it's
only wearing it here?
There's no way, because it is like
disgusting.
It's filthy.
New one.
Got the new one. 888-8888. Get Gordon, get it done. Thank you guys. We'll be back.
We'll see him in Omaha
tomorrow morning. Oh yeah, be back tomorrow morning 7 to 9. More of the Jordy Culotta Show. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, geez. Top of the morning. Fuck off. What else do the Irish people say? Oh, that one you can't say.
I'd like to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Absolutely no one.
I'm in their heads like a neurosurgeon. I'm everywhere like I'm Harold Perkins. Let's be stepping, we can never put on the same shoes. I've been giving L's like I know love and I can't lose.